Right now in Vaughan, nearly 400 homes and businesses without power. That means without heat in most cases as well. The outage beginning around 9 o'clock Thursday night. The boundaries from Denver East to Bathurst and Center Street to Steeles. They're hoping to get that power back on between 3 and 5 o'clock this morning.
And some good news for residents displaced after a fire at a high-rise on Gulf Boulevard last month. Mayor John Tory says a shipment of doors will finish delivered today, marking a significant step in the repairs to the units damaged in the fire. Tory says he believes the timeline is now down to weeks for reoccupancy for most of the residents. However, about 24 units will take longer to fix. Tory made the comments Thursday night at a holiday dinner for victims of the fire. About 30 families are currently being put up in a hotel.
680 News Time, 12:07. Rising rates of vaping among Canadian high school students as Health Canada proposing to ban advertising where vaping products can be seen by kids. With more on the possible new rules, here's 680 Stuart again.
The recommendations from Health Canada follow some new numbers showing from this time 2 years ago, the number of high school students using vaping products has doubled.
The new restrictions on e-cigarette advertising are strong, and they're going to have an important impact to reducing vaping in Canada.
Praising the overall mission for Health Canada, Rob Cunningham with the Canadian Cancer Society says still more needs to be done.
We have made progress to reduce youth smoking, but now we're seeing a whole new generation of kids becoming addicted to nicotine through cigarettes.
So far, Health Canada is going as far as banning the advertisement of any vaping products in any location where someone under 18 could see or hear it, while also requiring any vaping packaging to feature health warnings and be child resistant. The agency is also looking in the future at limiting nicotine content in vaping products. I'm Stuart McGinn.
Police are pleading to the public for information after a young man was gunned down a week ago. The 22-year-old was killed in the Leslie Street and Finch area, East area. That's where we find 680's Mark Douglas.
Jeremy Urbina shot dead on the night of December 11th while coming back to his front door after taking out some trash. And now Toronto police say he may have been killed at random.
And unfortunately, Mr. Urbina is the victim of what appears to be an
random
killing.
That's Detective Sergeant Terry Brown from the Homicide Squad. He says 2 suspects entered the Sparrowway residential complex that night, where the second-year OCAD student lived with his parents. After they wandered around for 6 minutes, one of the suspects walked up behind Urbina and with no interaction of any kind, simply started shooting. Both suspects then ran off. Police do not know where they went. Investigators are urgently appealing for more witnesses to come forward. Near Finch and Leslie, I'm Mark Douglas.
Field police looking for 2 suspects in connection with a break-in at a home in Mississauga. It happened before 3 this afternoon on 3 in the afternoon on December 5th in the Eglinton and Credit View area. Police say the suspects broke through the front door. They were chased off when the homeowner arrived, but not before stealing over $10,000 worth of jewelry. The property damage to the house estimated at $1,000. Security camera footage of one of the suspects is available on the Peel Police website. In 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the bumps.
680 News Time, 12:09.
The season of one-horse open sleighs has got a lot more powerful. Now experience the exhilaration of controlling a whole stable under your hood. And with Lexus' December to Remember event, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of a Lexus.
Lease a 2020 Lexus NX300 for as low as 1.9% APR with delivery credits up to $1,500. Visit LexusGTA.ca or your Toronto area Lexus dealer.
Now, the 680 News gas price update, and Pro predicting the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.17.9 a litre.
680 News Time, 12:10.
Smaller businesses can't keep up with the big guys. With help from 680 News.
My name is Steve Forberg, and I'm the CEO of Decorium. Decorium is a retail furniture showroom. My family's been in the furniture business for over 3 generations now. The only station that we're on the radio with is 680 News.
How has 680 News helped you achieve your advertising goals?
Well, our advertising goal is to reach, obviously, as many of our demographic as we possibly can. And with 680 News, that gives us the ability to get a greater reach out there in the marketplace over some other mainstream medias.
What type of response does Decorium have from 680 News listeners?
When we get on 680 News and our spots hit the air, our phone starts ringing. We can see an uptick in our in-store traffic, and it really creates the awareness that we're looking for.
Would you recommend 680 News to others?
I would absolutely recommend advertising on 680 News to other businesses. Our feeling is if you're going to be on the radio, you might as well be with the best station.
Get 680 News working for you. Call 680 News Advertising at 416-935.
12:11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones first off the traffic center. Carly Donahue.
This report is brought to you by Sportsnet. Right now, things are looking better on the major routes, actually. It was a bit of a mess earlier on with a bunch of delays going on, but we will keep you updated. So right now, eastbound 401, westbound Mississauga Road, not open that ramp coming onto the highway. At Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes are shut down for construction. We are still seeing delays to Credit View. And then we have the major issue that we're still unfortunately seeing going on at the 400 on the East 401. There was a collision in the express lanes, so that has actually caused 2 out of the 3 lanes to be shut down in the express. Now, this isn't going to be going away anytime soon. There is some really heavy backup right now, pretty much from just east of Islington, and that is just in the express, and it ends at the 400. So the stretch of delays has actually gotten a lot better, but they are still really thick. So just keep that in mind. You're going to want to stick in the collectors if you can. Otherwise, on the East 401, the Morningside collector to express transfer has been shut down for construction. Westbound on the 401 at Brimley, the express to collector transfers closed, approaching Kennedy, and the collectors 2 left lanes closed. We have some minor delays there. At the 404, the express to collector transfer shut down as well. The keel ramps to the highway are blocked off. Northbound 400 at Essa, 2 right lanes are closed off. The westbound Essa ramp to the highway is also shut down at this time. Southbound Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are closed off. That is just for some construction right now, so just a heads up for that. Southbound 410, the ramp to the East 401 has a left lane closed off. Then we get to the eastbound QEW, where we're seeing delays from Cawthra to the 427 because of 2 right lanes closed off at Cawthra and at Dixie. That is for construction. The delays are getting a little bit better as well there. Eastbound 403 at Eglinton and the Express, all lanes are shut down. So that's actually causing some delays as well. There's a little bit of a delay on the East 403 getting on to the East 401. See the Grandmasters of Curling compete in 6 Grand Slam events. The Pike East Grand Slam of Curling on Sportsnet. With the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
West Enders waking up to some lake effect snow, basically South Mississauga through Burlington, Hamilton, Stony Creek. Those are the spots that could see some of that accumulating snow. Everybody else is looking at a sunny sky early on. Wind chill in the morning will be close to -8, heading up to a high of -4 during the day today with a wind chill near -8. Overnight, we're going to find lighter winds, lake effect snow shutting down to -8. Tomorrow, it's a partly cloudy sky with a high of +2 in the forecast. Today, we're heading up to a high temperature of -4, wind chill -8.
And right now, downtown Toronto, -6, -12 with the wind chill. We have some light snow. 680 News Time, 12:14.
The accolades continue for Don Alfonso 1890 Toronto. The esteemed restaurant has been named the 2nd best Italian restaurant in the world by 50 Top Italy.
Hi, I'm Nick DiDonato, president of Liberty Entertainment Group, and I want to congratulate 3-star Michelin chef Alfonso Iacarino and the entire team at Don Alfonso for receiving such an incredible international honor. We look forward to continuing to provide exceptional dining experiences here in Toronto.
To find out more, visit DonAlfonsoToronto.com.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Fincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul.
Oh, shit. Breakfast of Champions.
News Radio.
We've had light snow in downtown Toronto, -6, feeling like -13. Good evening, good morning, rather, from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Christine Ritchie. Here are the top stories this hour.
Time is not on your side if you're flying out of YYZ tomorrow. Around 138,000 passengers expected to pass through Pearson Airport, making Friday the busiest travel day of the holiday season. We have an update now from the roads. All eastbound 401 express lanes at the 400 have now cleared. This after the boom of an excavator that was being hauled by a flatbed truck slammed in the 400 overpass, closing a couple of the lanes for several hours. The driver had fled the scene, but has since been found and charged. 680 News Time, 12:15.
Flee the scene. How many fucking guys were driving that type of truck at that time of day?
The Raptors will have to deal with more injury adversity in the next little while as 3 of their current starters are out indefinitely.
Sometimes running just gets you sent to jail tired.
A groin injury against Detroit. However, Sportsnet
Sounds like a cocky thing a cop says, but sometimes it's true.
Out for too long.
Of the 3, it's probably the least significant, or the injury that we can sort of expect to be back soonest.
Also out indefinitely are Marc Gasol with a hamstring strain and Norm Powell with a partially dislocated shoulder. Toronto back in action tonight against the Washington Wizards. A practice day for the Maple Leafs, who will visit the Rangers in New York tonight. Maple Leafs head coach Sheldon Keefe says Frederik Andersen will get the start in goal, with Michael Hutchinson starting in net on Saturday, home to Detroit. Finals from the NHL to pass along. Montreal beat Calgary 4-3 in overtime. Philadelphia beat Buffalo 6-1. Ottawa over Nashville 5-4 in overtime, and Chicago got by Winnipeg 4-1. And in baseball news, Justin Smoak is headed to Milwaukee. The now former Blue Jays first baseman signing a 1-year deal with the Brewers. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time 12:17.
Hey, Nissan. Now, I may have overindulged on the sweets this holiday season, but I think I have room for one more treat.
That's perfect, because we've got a real treat for you this Boxing Week. Right now on select models like Rogue, Qashqai, or Kicks, get an additional $1,000 bonus cash. It's like having your cake and eating it too.
Please, no more cake. I can't.
Get your sweet Boxing Week bonus by January 2nd. Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. Conditions apply.
Don't know what to get them for the holidays?
A fidget spinner? Really? I birthed your 3 children, and you get me a glow-in-the-dark fidget spinner?
How about better sleep from Sleep Country? Hurry into the Boxing Week sale and give the gift of better sleep. Plus, get amazing prices on sleep essentials like duvets, pillows, sheets, and more. And get a Hot Buy Queen mattress with temperature control, just $369. Hurry in store or online, because it's on now. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
Here with All News Radio 680 News at 12:18. A man has been taken to hospital with serious injuries after a stabbing in Scarborough. Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson tells 680 News they got the call from the victim at the end of the attack that happened around 6:30.
We received a call from a man saying that he'd been stabbed somewhere near Bonus Avenue and Birchmount Road. Now, I believe that we have had officers find him at that location, but I'm not sure that that's where the stabbing occurred.
Police have yet to determine the area of the stabbing itself, but say when they arrived at the scene, they found the man unconscious with serious bleeding. Anyone with information has to contact police. A school bus carrying about 11 elementary school kids lost control and crashed in Markham Thursday afternoon. The bus sliding off Somerdale Drive near Leslie, south of the 407, hitting a pole, an SUV, and a sound barrier before stopping. None of the children were hurt in the crash. Police have yet to determine the cause, but say roads were snow-covered at the time. Peel Police arresting 4 people in connection to delivery thefts in Brampton. The suspects ranging in age from 24 to 39, 2 of them from Toronto. More expensive parcels circulating this time of year also mean more thefts of deliveries to residents and community mailboxes. Police reminding you to be on the lookout for so-called porch pirates throughout the holidays. Meantime, down in Ohio, police are trying to catch those porch pirates with trap packages.
It's that time of year. If you drive up and down the neighborhood nowadays, you'll see packages at every other house. And that means porch pirates are on the prowl. Grove City, Ohio Police Lieutenant Jason Stern says they've set up an operation planting trap packages on doorsteps to try and bust thieves. Police using cameras and tracking devices to catch up to the bad guys. A criminal comes into Grove City, they're not going to know what packages are safe to steal and what packages are tracked or being watched by us. With so many packages being delivered these days, he says they'll continue the operation even beyond the holidays. Brian Burrow, ABC News.
In 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast. 680 News Time, 12:20.
Year after year, the Alta Group of Infinity dealers has won awards for customer satisfaction. They've also won awards for the number of Infinities they've sold. If you're shopping or need to service your vehicle, go where the customers are pleased and the vehicles are plentiful. Alta Infinity Woodbridge, 400 Infinity Innisfil, Infinity of Brampton, Canada's #1 volume Infinity Group. Go to altagroup.ca.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group.
Joker, a meteor set to collide with our West Coast in mere minutes. What do we do?
Not to worry, Governor. I will simply fly around the Earth fast enough to reverse our polarity and turn back time. Joker away! You've only taken 3 steps. Here I go. You're basically standing still. Can the toga help innocent citizens breathe easier? Probably not. Find out why at thetogaonline.ca.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
Thank you, Scott Burnett. Right now, this report is brought to you by TSC. Scott's making me laugh, everyone. This report is full of construction, actually. Eastbound on the 401, the westbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway is shut down for some construction. At Mississauga Road, we have 2 right lanes. That is closed. That's causing some delays from Credit View. At Islington and the Express, we have a center lane blocked with a disabled vehicle, but great news for drivers. The issue at the 400 and the Express has completely cleared, so that is a positive for your early morning commute. There was a transport truck that collided in an overpass, and it was just a bit of a mess there for a while, so all the delays have cleared, and all of the express lanes have reopened at the 400. And we are still seeing that the 400 collector to express transfer is closed off, and at Morningside, the collector to express transfer shut down as well. Westbound on the 401, approaching McCowan, the transfer from collector to express is closed. Approaching Kennedy and the collectors, 2 left lanes are blocked off. At the 404, the express to collector transfer shut down. The Keel ramps to the west 401 are closed off as well. Leslie, no access to the westbound 407. Northbound on the 400, we have at ESSA 2 right lanes blocked off for maintenance, and then the westbound ESSA ramp to the highway shut down as well. Northbound 404 ramp to westbound 407 blocked off for construction. If you're on the south 404, the ramp to the westbound 407 is closed as well. And southbound on the Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are blocked right now for some construction. We'll keep you updated on when those reopen. Southbound 410 ramp to east 401, a left lane closed in that ramp. And then we get into the east QEW issue. So at Cawthra and Dixie on the eastbound QEW, there's 2 right lanes closed off in both locations. That's causing delays from Cawthra to the 427. And then once you hit the 427, you will not be able to get from the east QEW to the north 427. They've closed that ramp down for construction. Combat aging and nourish any skin type with Elizabeth Grant's Customer Favorites Collection. Get this great gift item at special price tomorrow at TSC. Shop TSC.ca with the forecast. Adam Stiles.
Winds out of the east means lake effect snow possible for the west end of the GTA. And in fact, some areas expecting 5 to 15 centimeters of accumulation. And if the winds wiggle a little bit, we'll see some of that snow sneaking into areas like South Mississauga and Oakville. But right now I have it sort of pegged between Burlington and Hamilton for most of that snow to occur. It will happen during the morning hours. By the afternoon, the winds start to become lighter and shift around. -4 the daytime high today. Wind chill expected near -8. Early on, afternoon, about -8. Sunshine for most of the GTA.
-8.
Into the afternoon hours.
Thank you.
Tomorrow morning down to -8 to start the morning. Wind chill at
motherfucker.
-13, heading up to a high of +2 with a partly cloudy sky. And Sunday, it's a partly cloudy sky with a high of +5. Today, it's -4 in the forecast with a wind chill between -8 and -18.
Between -8 and -8, very specific, buddy.
And -6.
The Maserati of Ontario and Oakville Grand Finale event is on now. For a limited time, take advantage of incredible offers on new 2019 models, including a 0% finance rate and a 1.95% lease rate on the Maserati Ghibli SQ4. Plus, as an added bonus, take advantage of up to $25,000 savings on select 2018 in-stock models. Act fast before it's too late. Choose the road less ordinary by visiting Maserati of Ontario or Maserati of Oakville today. On approved credit, offer expires December 31st. See dealer for details.
You've heard the saying, like a kid at Christmas.
That's how excited we are at 98.1 CHFI.
We can't wait for Christmas.
Buddhist Associate, yeah, that's it. Buddhist Associate. That's the one I'm looking for.
We'd love to bring it to you.
Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Happy holidays.
Toronto's Christmas music station is
98.1 CHFI.
All Christmas news coming up in 60 seconds. 680 News Time, 12:25.
This is your office during a regularly scheduled meeting.
Here are the numbers for... Anyone awake? Hello?
This is your office with a meeting catered by Pumpernickel's.
Going into the next quarter, our numbers look great.
Treating the team well starts with smart choices, like catering from Pumpernickel's, with artisanal sandwiches, creative salads, gourmet desserts, and much more. Let Pumpernickel's bring their restaurant to your office. Pumpernickel's Catering, where good food is plentiful. Visit
Oh dear, what is all
pumpernickels.ca.
this?
I'm here with Bill Coy of Coy Brothers, and we're talking about how old St. Nick called in a favor to Coy Brothers.
That's right. He's asked if his elves can use some Kubota tractors.
Really, Bill? For what?
Listen, he wanted it to be a secret, but I'll tell you that Kubota tractors are magical. The elves will use them to clear snow from parking lots and sidewalks, making a path for Santa to deliver his goodies.
Wow! Better be a good driller boy and experience the magic of a Kubota tractor for yourself from the Snow Pros at Coy Bros.
KOOYBROS.com.
Time for all Christmas news on the 25, brought to you by the Scott Mission. A Vermont Police Department adding a bit of holiday cheer to its radar speed signs. The Chester Police Department posting photos on Facebook of radar signs that illuminate naughty for speeders and nice for drivers following the speed limit. And the color scheme matters, of course. The speed showing up green numbers for nice drivers and red numbers if you're naughty.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
Now the business report. Here's Carl.
Good morning. Canadian retail data is on the economic calendar today. Some economists are forecasting October retail sales fell at 10% from September. And after the consumer price index for November showed a jump this week, could all this data change the Bank of Canada's stance on interest rates next year? Sal Gualtieri, director and senior economist at BMO Capital Markets, does not think so.
With core inflation now averaging just a bit above the bank's target, I think the Bank of Canada will be reluctant to ease policy. So it's very much a story of the bank staying on the sidelines for at least another year.
Canadian dollar lost 5/100ths of a cent, closing at 76.19 cents U.S. A winning day for Bay and Wall Street. TSX higher by 32 points, 17,064. Stateside, more record closing highs for all three U.S. benchmarks. Dow rose 137 points, 28,376. S&P added 14 points, 3,205. And a 7-day rally for the Nasdaq, gaining 59 points, 8,887. Now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It rose $5.40, finishing at $1,484. Oil was up 0.5%, closing at $61.22 a barrel, with the Canadian crude index higher by 1.4% to finish about $40 a barrel. Earnings are expected from BlackBerry today, and with more on what's to come, here's Bloomberg's Larry Kofsky.
Today is a so-called quadruple witching day when certain stock futures and options expire. We can expect more trading volume and volatility. After stumbling at the box office and irking some fans,
today was when the
Disney is
baby
betting
bonus
they
came,
can
the
win back
child
the
tax
latest
benefit
chapter
came
of the
out.
Star Wars series. Marketing for the film, which opens
I guess
today,
I make my
is
money
hard.
differently than
Nostalgia
you do.
plays up the fact that there won't be another Star Wars film for years. Last year's Solo generated less than $400 million in theaters worldwide, a franchise worse. Today's economic calendar brings reports on GDP, personal incomes and spending, and consumer sentiment. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Radio.
At Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
So, Vince, was there anything different about buying a car from Aaron Park Lexus?
At Aaron Park Lexus, there's no pressure to buy. They make you feel at ease. They spend as much time as you need with them.
How many cars have you bought here?
We're probably on our 5th or 6th Lexus.
Is that right?
Aaron Park. It's a December to remember. Get $2,000 credit on 2020 RX 350s with 2.9% lease rates up to 40 months.
Aaron Park. Hi, it's Fido. Holiday deals are in full swing and the fun continues with Boxing Week. Keep the best gift for yourself. The brilliant iPhone XR at $0 on select 2-year plans. It's brilliant in every way, including the price. And go all out without going over with data overage protection included on all new plans. Hurry up in store or at Fido.ca to discover more holiday deals. Conditions apply. Fido, go get it.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Walmart.
Starting Saturday, Walmart is opening all checkouts from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day until Christmas. Save time on your holiday shop as you check out Walmart's unbeatable low prices.
And for the record, it was Carly making me laugh. That's what happened. In Ottawa today, cleared minus 13 degrees. Dallas, Texas, overcast and 8. I'm Scott Burnett. Have a great morning. It's 12:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good morning. This is Friday, December the 20th. And
I'm Tim Chapman. Here's what's making news this hour.
Pearson is going to be packed, with the airport declaring today the busiest travel day of the year.
It's 135,000, something like 70 or 80, so almost double, close enough to double.
Forecast.
Happening
When
now,
you go from
hundreds of homes
$5
are
to
without
$8
power,
is
and
almost
Vaughan
doubles
Electric
pretty
Power
quick.
is saying they're still not sure what's causing the outage.
Health Canada weighs in on the vape debate, proposing the ban of any advertisement of the products where young people might see them.
Raptors
I
Pascal
really don't
Siakam,
like any
Marcus
type of
Gasol, and
advertising
Norm Powell
targeted
are all
at
out
people
indefinitely
that
with
don't
injuries
have
as the
the
Maple Leafs get
maturity
ready
to
for the
understand
Rangers
they're
in
being
New York.
manipulated.
Sports at
I
45.
don't like that.
Investors are expected to take a closer look at earnings from Nike today. BlackBerry's preparing to release quarterly results as North American markets come off a winning
Fuck
session.
does BlackBerry
with
sell
Wall Street
anymore?
trading at all-time highs.
I could have the BlackBerry I want for $900, or I could have this for $90. I could have 10 of these before I could get the BlackBerry. And how am I supposed to support Canadian businesses?
I promise to try and not make you two laugh this morning. Right now, if you're traveling east on the 401 westbound Mississauga Road to the highway is shut down for some construction. At Mississauga Road, we have 2 right lanes closed. We're seeing some minor delays right there, just approaching Mississauga Road right now. They're getting a little better. At the 400, the Collector 2 Express Transfer is closed off, and at Morningside, the Collector 2 Express Transfer is shut down as well. If you're on the East 407, no access to the 400 right now. West on the 401. At Nielsen and the Collector's 2 left lanes are closed off. At Brimley, the Express to Collector transfer is shut down for maintenance. Then we have approaching Kennedy and the Collector's 2 left lanes blocked for some construction. It's causing minor delays just on and off right now approaching Kennedy. It's nothing too serious, but it is a little bit of a slowdown there. At the 404, the Express to Collector transfer is blocked for some maintenance. The Keel ramps to the highway, they're shut down as well. And then we jump on to the North 400. At ESSA, 2 right lanes are closed off. Westbound ESSA ramp to that highway blocked off as well. You've got no access from Leslie to the West 407. And if you're on the northbound 404, the ramp to the westbound 407 is shut down as well. If you're on the southbound 404, you guessed it, no access to the westbound 407. Southbound on the Allen at Yorkdale Road, we have all lanes shut down right there. That is just for some construction. It's not causing any delays right now. You can get off beforehand and everything should be okay. Southbound 410 ramp to East 401, we have a left lane closed off. And then we hit the eastbound QEW where we're seeing a number of different problems. It's just delays, but it's because of construction. So east on the QEW at Cawthra, we have 2 right lanes closed. And then again at Dixie, there's 2 right lanes closed. And then the ramp to the northbound 427 is closed off as well. So it's just a whole cluster of things working into adding into those delays. So just a heads up for that. You might want to skip the east QEW and find an alternative route. With 24/7 monitoring off 407 ETR's road conditions and crews on standby, you don't have to give up your safe and reliable drive this winter on the 407 ETR. With the forecast, Adam Stiles.
West Enders waking up with some snow early on as lake effect will be coming in off Lake Ontario. Winds out of the east. Basically, your line of risk is going to be sort of South Mississauga all the way down to about Stony Creek, with the bulk of it falling between Burlington and Hamilton. Daytime highs today near -4. Sunshine early on to start off here in the city. We'll see a few clouds into the afternoon with that east wind up to 20 kilometers per hour. Today's high temperature -4. Wind chill -8.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -6 and partly cloudy. The wind chill making that more like -13 over at Pearson Airport. Similar conditions at -7. 680 News Time, 12:34.
If you have a flight scheduled out of Pearson Airport, you may want to get there earlier.
You have a flight out of Pearson, you're
Today is expected to be
stupid.
the busiest travel day of the holiday season, with approximately 138,000 passengers traveling through the airport.
Greater Toronto
Oh, what I'm
Airport
looking for, there's
Authority
nothing there.
spokesperson Tori Gas tells 680 News December through January is always very busy.
Starting in December 15th, which is sort of when we start to see holiday travel start. So between December 15th and January 5th, we're expecting 2.85 million passengers to travel through Pearson Airport, which is quite a deal.
Gas recommends bringing your presents to the airport unwrapped to speed things up.
No
through security.
shit.
And though it may
Like they're gonna let you
have
bring
felt like it
wrapped
for quite some
presents in.
time now, today is officially the first day of winter.
Really?
We've already seen multiple snow squall warnings and extreme cold weather alerts set across southern Ontario. Yesterday, tricky conditions north of the city
Oh,
resulted in
fucking
several
whole
crashes on the
fucking
400,
thing is
shutting
turning
down a
red.
portion of the highway for roughly 4 hours. As 680 meteorologist Adam Stiles explains, though today's snow might not seem like much, the morning's commute will still be a messy one.
So don't focus on the snow totals as much. Think about the impact, the timing, what's going to happen. We'll see reduced visibility during the morning commute. We'll see road conditions deteriorating, and we're going to see that accumulating snow being around for most of the morning drive.
Areas between Hamilton and Oakville could be getting anywhere between
swear
5
my
and 10
skin is
centimeters of snow
fucking
by the late
crawling.
morning, but the city will likely miss out on any accumulation.
680 News Time, 12:35. Headway is being made on repairs to the North York high-rise that caught fire last month. At a holiday dinner for nearly 700 displaced residents of 235 Gosford Boulevard, Mayor John Tory announced all door shipments would be completed today, a significant step in repairs to damaged units. Tory went on to say that most people would be able to move back home in just a few weeks. With Christmas just around the corner, Toronto Raptors shooting guard Norman Powell will be hosting a holiday event for displaced residents. Tomorrow, Powell will be visiting and delivering gifts to families.
We have high-rise buildings, concrete and steel, and fires are making thousands of people homeless instantly. Buildings are falling down, blowing up.
680 News Time, 12:36. Happening now in Vaughan, nearly 400 homes and businesses are without power. The outage began around 9 o'clock last night. The boundaries are from Dufferin East to Bathurst and Centre Street south to Steeles. They're hoping to restore power between 3 and 5 o'clock this morning.
680 News Time at 12:37. Provincial police say they found the dump truck that fled the scene after smashing its load into an overpass on the eastbound 401 Express at the 400. Sergeant Kerry Schmidt explains what happened.
Around 7:30 this evening, we got reports of a dump truck that was pulling a flatbed trailer that had an excavator loaded on top. The boom of that excavator struck the underside of the Highway 400 overpass on Highway 401 eastbound in the express lanes.
Schmidt says the driver will face charges. Cement debris littered the area after the crash, but no other vehicles were involved and no injuries were reported.
Why would you run from there?
Are on scene to ensure the bridge hasn't been structurally damaged.
This is 680 News. Rising rates of vaping among Canadian high school students has Health Canada proposing to ban advertising where vaping products can be seen by kids. With more on the possible new rules, here's 680's Stuart McGinn.
The recommendations from Health Canada follow some new numbers showing from this time 2 years ago, the number of high school students using vaping products has doubled.
The new restrictions on e-cigarette advertising are strong, and they're going to have an important impact to reduce youth vaping in Canada.
Praising the overall mission for Health Canada, Rob Cunningham with the Canadian Cancer Society says still more needs to be done.
We have made such progress to reduce youth smoking, but now we're seeing a whole new generation of kids becoming addicted to nicotine through cigarettes.
So far, Health Canada is going as far as banning the advertisement of any vaping products in any location where someone under 18 could see or hear it, while also requiring any vaping packaging to feature health warnings and be child resistant. The agency is also looking in the future at limiting nicotine content in vaping products. I'm Stuart McGinn. 680 News Time, 12:38. A man's been taken to hospital with serious injuries after a stabbing in Scarborough. Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson tells 680 News they received calls from the victim of the attack around 6:30 Thursday evening.
We received a call from a man saying that he'd been stabbed somewhere near Bonus Avenue and Birchmount Road. Now, I believe that we have had officers find him at that location, but I'm not sure that that's where the stabbing occurred.
Police have yet to determine the area of the stabbing itself, but say when they arrived on scene, they found the man unconscious and with serious bleeding.
This is 680 News. The deal to replace a decades-old North American free trade agreement has passed a major hurdle. After a vote by U.S. lawmakers, Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill announced the bill supporting the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement had been approved with overwhelming bipartisan support. The deal has already been approved by Mexico, but still needs to be ratified in the House of Commons. A vote isn't expected until the new year. Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 12:39.
The holidays are coming faster than Santa's sleigh. They'll be here before you know it. If you want to pay down some bills and simplify things heading into the new year, and even free up some money for the holidays, consider a consolidation loan from PrudentFinancial.net. Use the equity in your car or home to borrow up to $35,000 the same day. Go to PrudentFinancial.net and apply today. Wishing you and yours a magical holiday season. PrudentFinancial.net.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Ambrose says the price of gas did not change at midnight, holding at $1.17.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 12:40.
And now, a message from Vistaprint. This is a cow. The cow that made the milk that was made into the cheese that made Tober Dairy Farm into the talk of the craft fair. But cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business like Tober Dairy Farm makes can last much longer.
with the right business card to back it up. That's why Vistaprint is offering 500 truly personalized business cards starting at $9.99. That's 500 cards with exactly the look you want for just $9.99. Plug your information and logo into hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own original layout. Pick from paper styles like matte, glossy, or uncoated. You can even upgrade to a unique touch like rounded corners. The choice is yours. The time is now. I said now, not cow, farmer's over. Get 500 business cards starting at $9.99 at Vistaprint.ca with promo code 3131. That's promo code 3131 at checkout on Vistaprint.ca. Vistaprint, own the now. City News time 12:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carlin Donahue.
This report is brought to you by Subaru. Right now, it's a bit of a better drive than it was a few hours ago on the major routes, so that's some good news. We'll start on the eastbound QEW at Cawthra and Dixie. In both those locations, 2 right lanes are shut down for some construction. That has been causing delays all night and all early morning, but now the delays are pretty much cleared up. It's just a little slow going through Cawthra to the 427, but nothing like what it was before. But unfortunately, the ramp to the northbound 427 from the east QEW is shut down at this time. And then we're seeing some volume-related delays on the eastbound Gardner just past the 427. So just a heads up for that. On the 401 now, westbound at Brimley, the express to collector transfer shut down. Approaching Kennedy and the collectors, 2 left lanes are closed. At the 404 in the express, the express to collector transfer is shut down as well. The keel ramps to the highway are blocked off for some maintenance work, and west of the 427 in the express, a right lane is shut down as well. Eastbound on the 401, the westbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway is blocked off, and Mississauga Road, 2 right lanes are closed. Minor delays in that area. At the 427, a left lane is closed off. At the 400, the collector to express transfer is blocked as well. And then at Morningside, the collector to express transfer is closed. We've been getting traffic spotters calling in saying that on the East 401 approaching the 412, one of the signs that are up there above the highway may have fallen into a live lane. So we have contacted the MTO and they said they're on their way to check that out. So not to worry, but just be aware of that at this time. Westbound ESSA ramp to northbound 400 is closed, and there's no access to the westbound 407 from either side of the 404. Unwrap more this season with Subaru. Hurry into your local Ontario Subaru dealer for a holiday bonus during the My Subaru Gave to Me holiday event. With the forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
Sunshine for most of the GTA with the exception of the west end. Lake effect snow coming in off Lake Ontario. There'll be some spots that see anywhere from 5 to 15 centimeters of this fluffy lake effect snow. It'll slow down the morning commute. Winds will become a bit lighter and a bit more disorganized as the day progresses. With a high -4 in the forecast, increasing cloud cover for everybody else. Wind chill today between -8 and -18. We're down to -8 to start off the morning tomorrow with a wind chill at -13. It's a mix of sun and cloud during the day and a high of +2 in the forecast. Today, -4, wind chill between -8 and -18.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy -6, but feeling more like -13 with the wind chill. And at Pearson Airport, cloudy -7, but feeling more like -14. 680 News Time, 12:44.
Don't you ever get tired of getting your own way?
Let me think. No.
You wanted to go to Maple Auto Mall, and here we are at Maple Auto Mall.
Well, thank you.
You wanted this make, this model, and you got it.
Well, 9 dealerships together. I knew we wouldn't have to look too hard.
They just keep saying yes, no matter what you want.
Maple Auto Mall is my kind of mall.
Personally, I think this sets a bad precedent.
Happy holidays from the Maple Auto Mall. One rose from the streets of Paris to become an international star. The other was a German aristocrat who became Hollywood's first glamour queen. Their private lives were as theatrical as their public performances. This new musical biography stars Louise Piech as Edith Piaf and Jane Lewis as Marlene Dietrich. Piaf Dietrich, now playing at the CAA Theater until January 5th. Tickets at Mervish.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Cloudy at 6 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good morning. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Denise Baba, and here are the top stories this hour. If you're trying to avoid a situation out of home alone, you'll want to head to your flight earlier than usual. Houston Airport has declared today the busiest day of the year with over 138,000 passengers.
Hold on, I've seen that movie. I didn't catch your reference.
Enough, the morning's forecast is calling for messy conditions, including steady snowfall and blustering winds. Though there won't be much accumulation in the city, the timing of the snow will make the drive-in a hard one this morning. And coming up after sports, the ratings are in. Seems like U.S. President Donald Trump's impeachment hearing brought in millions of viewers. 680 News Time, 12:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet by Nani the Fan. Here's Rob Wong.
Well, it was a costly win for the Raptors in Detroit as the team says 3 of their players are out indefinitely after suffering injuries against the Pistons. Pascal Siakam is battling a groin injury, Marc Gasol a hamstring strain, and Norm Powell a partially dislocated shoulder. Meantime, Fred VanVleet could make his return tonight against Washington as he is listed as questionable with his knee contusion. After watching Frederick Anderson get the bulk of the starts of late, Michael Hutchinson will return to action on Saturday when the Maple Leafs host Detroit.
I'm feeling good. I feel really good about where my practice is. Mentally, I'm feeling like I'm in a good headspace, which is a huge thing.
The Leafs visiting the New York Rangers this evening as Anderson will get the call in that one. On the ice, the Montreal Canadiens coming back to beat the Calgary Flames 4-3 in overtime. Elsewhere, the Flyers beat the Sabres 6-1. The Senators edged the Predators 5-4 in overtime as the Blackhawks beat the Jets 4-1. Sports at 15 and 45. Heads to Brielle or anytime the home of Tim and Sid now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 12:47.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150, the truck with the Vincentric Award for lowest cost to own in its class. Now during the 4th year end event, get up to $10,500 in rebates on select new 2019 F-150 models. Get the truck that's built for the long haul. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
Need window inspiration? Then you need to speak to the experts. Hi, I'm Tom Rokiki of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Our window experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So whether you're replacing your old windows or building your dream home, dream the dream with Inline Fiberglass. If you can dream it, we can build it. Visit our Factory Direct showroom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or inlinefiberglass.com.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. There were at least 15 million witnesses to the House vote impeaching President Donald Trump, and that's the preliminary viewership figures from the Nielsen Company from 4 networks that aired the vote live. Both Fox News Channel and NBC led the way with roughly 5 million viewers each. Both ABC and CBS switched to entertainment programming just before the vote and were rewarded with larger audiences. NBC stayed with the story and did better than it would have done with an Ellen DeGeneres repeat. And charity donations in Canada have hit their lowest levels in 20 years. New study says we're also falling way behind our neighbors to the south.
I don't really have any money to donate, not even for myself, really.
I feel like I am a charitable person.
Do they mean total or?
Canadians donated 0.5% of their income in 2017. In comparison, Americans donated a little more than 1.5% of their income, nearly 3 times.
You compare percentages. That's not fair. Everybody's fucking broke.
Surprised. So what is leading to this downward trend?
Charitable giving is typically sensitive to your after-tax income.
What Canadians have left in their pockets at the end of each month can also play a role. In October, MMP released a study showing Canadians were left with just under $560 after paying their bills, a 3-year low. Isabel Regan, City News.
Yeah, everybody broke.
680 News Time, 12:49. Scary moments for about a dozen elementary school children in Markham when their bus went off the road and crashed into a fence. York Regional Police say the bus was southbound on Summerdale Drive at Leslie Street yesterday afternoon when the driver lost control on the snow-covered road. The bus hit a pole, an SUV, and a sound barrier before coming to a stop. None of the 11 children on board was hurt. The cause of the crash, still under investigation. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 12:50.
Cold symptoms coming at you? Take Dayquil Complete and put your cold symptoms out cold!
Dayquil Complete. The coughing, aching, congested chest, stuffy head, power through your day.
medicine. To ensure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label. Keep out of reach of children.
How does Sugar Plum Fairy transform Canada's Wonderland into the world of Winterfest?
We need lights, millions of them, a gigantic Christmas tree, and Snoopy and the Peanuts gang, and ice skating and carolers spreading cheer. And more lights, and a heap of live shows and family rides. And lights!
Hurry, our magic only lasts on the world of Canada's Wonderland's Winterfest. Select dates through December 31st.
Get unlimited Winterfest this year and next when you purchase a 2020 Gold Season Pass. Get yours at Canada'sWonderland.com.
Cold symptoms coming at you? Take Dayquil Complete and put your cold symptoms out cold!
Dayquil Complete. The coughing, aching, congested chest, stuffy head, power through your day, medicine. To ensure this product is right for you, always read and follow the label. Keep out of reach of children.
Taking this time, 12:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carleen Donahue.
This report is brought to you by Serpa.ca. We have a number of small problems on the major routes right now, nothing compared to what we were dealing with a few hours ago. But if you're on the eastbound 401 at Huron-Ontario in the Express, all lanes have been shut down. Just the Express collector's moving just fine, and this is just for some construction. It's not really affecting your drive too much. No delays in the area. Westbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway blocked off. At Mississauga Road, we have 2 right lanes closed off. The delays have cleared from that area. Then we approach the 400 where the collector to express transfer has been shut down for some maintenance work. And thank you to a traffic spotter for calling in that at Avenue Road in the Express on the eastbound 401, we have a collision in the right-hand lane. Emergency crews, tow trucks, they're all on scene. Now, there's no delays, but it is definitely a visual distraction. So just a heads up for that. I would stick in the collectors if you can. And then at Morningside, the collector to express transfer has been shut down for some maintenance as well. Westbound 401. At Brimley, the express to collector transfer is closed off for some construction. Approaching McCowan, the transfer into the express is closed. Approaching Kennedy and the collector's 2 left lanes blocked off. At the 404, the express to collector transfer is shut down as well. And there's no access to the highway from Kiel. The Leslie ramps to the westbound 407 are closed off. There's no access to the west 407 from either side of the 404 at this time. And if you're on the northbound 400, at ESSA, 2 right lanes are shut down for some maintenance. The westbound ESSA ramp to the highway is also closed off. Southbound on the Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes have been closed off, and this is for some construction. It's not causing delays at this time, but just something to keep in mind. And then we get to the eastbound QEW where we have a number of things going on. So at Cothra, there's 2 right lanes closed. At Dixie, 2 more right lanes closed. The Dixie ramps to the highway are shut down, and the ramp to the northbound 427 is closed as well. So there's a little bit of volume in that area because of those things. Has your vehicle been in an accident? Fix it at Serpa.ca. Find out about their delectable sharing program today. Serpa.ca. Any car, any time,
a new generation of kids is becoming addicted to nicotine through e-cigarettes.
Drive in some accumulating snow into the West GTA areas from Oakville to about Stony Creek, the main spots at risk. If the winds wiggle a little bit to the north, it could start to sneak into areas like South Mississauga. So something to be on the lookout for during the morning commute. Looks like it will be slow in the west. Everyone else will be sunny. Daytime highs near -4. Wind chill value today -8 to -18. Overnight, we dropped to -8 with a partly cloudy sky. Wind chill tomorrow morning at -13. Warming up to above freezing by the afternoon. +2 in the forecast and partly cloudy. Sunday, it's a mix of sun and cloud. Winds out of the southwest up to 35 kilometers per hour. Heading up to a high of +5. Today, it's -4 in the forecast with lake effect snow expected in the west.
Right now in downtown Toronto and over at Pearson Airport, partly cloudy -7, but feeling more like -14 with the wind chill.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Porter & Charles Cooking. Dreaming of a kitchen reno? Affordable European appliances from the Porter & Charles collection are at an exciting 15% off during the a la carte sale. Ends December 31st. Visit ELA.ca for details.
Coming up at 1 o'clock, a lot to look at as you wake up this morning. Today is the busiest travel day of the year, the last day of school for students ahead of the holiday break, and the first day of winter. 680 News Time, 12:54.
Hello, Alpine Credits.
Hi, I own my home. I need money.
Approved.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I am getting you a gift.
Oh, no, you don't have to.
A cake.
No, really, no.
Maybe a plant, a nice fern.
No, please, you don't have to give me
a date with my
Why wouldn't Saturday or Sunday or even Monday be most?
Wait, what?
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan
either
applications,
Sunday or
regardless of
Monday.
your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca.
Fuck do I know?
Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616 and 12617.
Hi, my name is Peter Bullitt, founder of Hops for Hunger, and I'm the 680 News Community Hero for December. So it's been 11 years working with Hops for the Daily Bread Food Bank, and specifically the program that I came up with called Hops for Hunger. And it just was a great way for a brewery, Great Lakes Brewery, to participate
Throw a beer in with the macaroni and cheese and corn flakes.
News Community Hero. Nominate your hero now at 680news.com.
No, we're not going to sell it. We're going to drink it, like right there.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our business report. 680 News time, 12:55.
If I told you there are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night, would you care?
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care? What if I told you many feel safer on the streets than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate.
It's hard to get accurate numbers. They get like $40 to $80 a night.
Can you help me do it in style?
Do I have a gift for you? Right now, lease the 2019 Nissan Kicks from $259 monthly and get a set of no-charge winter tires. With the Kicks' bold two-color combinations, you can add some design to your driveway. I'm feeling festive already. Don't wait. Get your gift before January 2nd.
Visit choosenissan.ca or your Nissan dealer. 60 months at 2.9% zero down. Limited tire quantities. Conditions apply.
680 News time, 12:56. Now time for the 680 News Business Report with Carl Garnish.
Good morning. Second quarter results from Nike expected to be in the spotlight today. Despite posting results that beat estimates, U.S. shares of the athletic giant fell more than 1% in the extended session. And analysts say two possible negatives might be profit margins and inventories. Nike's gross margin expanded to 44%, but that was short of estimates of 44.1%. And the margins have grown as the company focuses more on selling direct to its consumers. Shares of Nike rose 0.5% in Thursday trading, hitting an all-time high of $101.27.
Why didn't you round it to 44 in the first place? You would have been spot on.
28,376. A 7-day rally for the Nasdaq, gaining 59 to 8,887. While the S&P added 14 points, 3,205. As for Bay Street, TSX higher by 32 points, 17,064. Now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It rose $5.40, finishing at $1,484, reaching its highest level in about 2 weeks. Oil notched a fresh 3-month high, up by 0.5%, closing at $61.22 a barrel. Canadian crude index higher by 1.4% to finish about $40 a barrel, while the Canadian dollar dropped by 0.05 cents, closing at 76.19 cents US. Economists are on the lookout for Canadian retail sales for October, and earnings are expected from BlackBerry. Bloomberg's Larry Kovsky has more what's to come today. This is a big day for Boeing. The company hopes to launch its new CST-100 Starliner spacecraft on an initial voyage.
You guys ain't got the airplane down yet.
On board will be a test mannequin named Rosie to record data on the types of conditions astronauts can expect while riding the Starliner. The craft will also carry nearly 600 pounds of cargo. If all goes well, the flight could pave the way for astronauts to travel on board the Starliner next year. Today's economic calendar brings reports on GDP, personal incomes and spending, and consumer sentiment. Larry Kovsky, Bloomberg Radio. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
There are lots of ways to treat your cold symptoms. You can carry around a spoon and syrup, or try alternative methods. How about those lozenges? Why not drop all that for a different way? Cold drops, just one drop with a naturally sourced ingredient for temporary symptom relief of cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion.
Relief with just one drop. Cold Drops.
For a retailer near you, visit colddrops.com. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
The season of one-horse open sleighs has got a lot more powerful. Now experience the exhilaration of controlling a whole stable under your hood. And with Lexus's December to Remember event, there's never been a better time to get behind the wheel of a Lexus.
Lease a 2020 Lexus RX 350 for as low as 2.9% APR with delivery credits up to $2,000. Visit LexusGTA.ca or your Toronto area Lexus dealer.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Marquee Jewelers. Find everything you need for the holidays at Marquee Jewelers. The super sale continues on all rings, bracelets, chains, and more. Don't miss out. 2 Bloor Street West at Yonge.
In Brampton, mostly cloudy, -9 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, cloudy and -6. 680 News Time, 1 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Friday, December the 20th. I'm Tim Chapman.
And I'm Denise Bella. Here's what's making news this hour.
It's the busiest travel day of the year. Pearson saying they expect 138,000 passengers to use the transit hub.
Possible snow squalls expected for part
It is about double. It's about double what they do normally.
Mayor John Tory giving Gosford residents a little ray of hope ahead of the holidays.
A ban on vaping advertisements could soon be national. Health Canada weighing in amid some troubling statistics amongst Canadian high school students. The Raptors lose 3 key players to injury as they get set to host Washington tonight, as we'll take a look around a busy evening in the NHL. Sports at 15. Earnings from BlackBerry expected to be a focus for investors today. Data for Canada and the U.S. is on the economic calendar as North American markets come off a winning session, with Wall Street said to begin trading at all-time highs.
680 News Time, 101.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
Thanks, Tim. This report brought to you by Serpa.ca. It's a delay-free morning on the major routes right now. Thankfully, it wasn't a few hours ago, so this is some good news. If you're on the East 401 at Huron, Ontario, and the Express, all lanes have been shut down. This is just for some construction. It's not causing any delays or really impacting your drive too much. Collectors moving just fine. Westbound Mississauga Road ramp to the highway shut down as well. At the 400, the Collector to Express transfers blocked off for some maintenance. And then at Avenue Road in the Express, we have a collision in the right lane and right shoulder. Emergency crews, tow trucks on scene. No delays, just a visual distraction. At Morningside, the Collector to Express transfers blocked as well. Eastbound 407, no access to the 400. That is shut down for some maintenance. Westbound on the 401, we do have a Thixon 2 left lanes closed and Nielsen 2 left lanes shut down. The ramps to Markham Road are blocked off from a collision. At Brimley, the Express to Collector transfers blocked off. Approaching McAllen, the transfer from Collector to Express is closed. Approaching Kennedy, 2 left lanes blocked in the Collector lanes for some construction work. At the 404, the Express to Collector transfer is shut down as well. And then the Kiel ramps to the West 401 are blocked off at this time for maintenance. There's no access to the westbound 407 from Leslie at this time, and you can't get onto the West 407 from either side of the 404. There's crews working on all those ramps at this time. Northbound on the 400 at ESSA, 2 right lanes are blocked off, with the westbound ESSA ramp to the North 400 also closed off at this time. Southbound Evans Avenue ramp to the West QEW is shut down for construction. On the southbound Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are blocked, and that is for some maintenance work. No delays. We'll let you know if that reopens anytime soon. If you're on the East QEW, a number of other things going on there. At Copra and Dixie, we have 2 right lanes in each location shut down for some construction. The Dixie ramps to the East QEW are shut down, and there's no access to the North 427. Order the next vehicle of your dreams. Headache-free. Visit Serpa.ca. All brands, all models. Serpa.ca. Any car, anytime, anywhere. Your next report, 111 with the forecast, Adam Stiles.
Areas in the west end of the GTA starting off the day with lake effect snow. There'll be some localized areas that see anywhere from 5 to 15 centimeters of snow, and we'll have to watch for those winds wiggle throughout the morning commute. So plan for slow going around the Golden Horseshoe from Stony Creek right into Oakville. Further toward the north and west, everybody's going to be into some sunshine. It'll be fairly cool to start with a high -4. The forecast winds out of the east today 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Today's high temperature -4.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy, -6, but feeling more like -13 with the wind chill. And at Pearson Airport, cloudy, -7, but feeling like -14. 680 News Time, 104.
I don't know about that.
Christmas is
Feeling
just
like
days
there's no
away,
wind.
and that means
I was
a
just
lot
out
of
there
us are
with no
traveling
wind.
to see family. Pearson Airport says December through January is traditionally one of the
I
busiest
want to know
periods
how
of
many
the
people
year.
get caught trying to sneak something stupid through as a present this
We'll
year.
be seeing a lot of people coming over today.
Generally, it is starting to get a little bit busier now. Typically, the Friday before Christmas is always our busiest day of the holiday season, so that's happening again this year. It's just people are taking advantage of the weekend. They're getting a head start. Christmas is the middle of the week this year, so that's what we're seeing.
She says the best tips to reduce stress while traveling is to get to the airport early. Another tip is to bring your gifts unwrapped because all packages will have to be screened at security.
And
Bring
today
everything
it's
in
expected
clear
to bring more
plastic
snow,
bags.
just not to Toronto, as we hear from our meteorologist Adam Stiles. It's areas west of the city that are in for a rough drive to work this morning.
We're likely going to see slow conditions through the morning commute in the west end of the GTA from South Mississauga through Oakville, Burlington, down in toward Hamilton and Stony Creek, Grimsby. Those are the areas that could see this lake effect. I think the hardest hit areas are going to be Burlington and Hamilton.
Snowfall amounts through those areas are expected to total between 5 and 10 centimeters. The snow likely to continue from the morning through to the mid-afternoon.
680 News Time 105. Good news for hundreds of residents who've been displaced for more than a month after a fatal high-rise fire near Jane and Steeles. They may be able to return home sooner than expected. Janelle Massa of City News spoke with Mayor
It's a
Tory
shit about doors. I
ongoing
don't
efforts to
understand.
bring
Like, how
people
many
home.
doors did you wreck?
For the majority, not all of the units, we're very close to people being able to move back in.
Mayor Tory says the news is a significant step toward reoccupancy, and he estimates it may now be a matter of weeks before most tenants can return. Though he points out about 24 units will take much longer because of the extent of the damage. As for what that means for those who are being put up in hotels, he assures displaced tenants they will have a place to stay until their units are ready.
I've certainly given them my email address and said I will go to bat to make sure, because our expectation is that the landlord will have those people continue to stay in the hotel on the arrangements that have been put forward until such time as they can move back into their apartments.
They're required to. Unless they change that law, they're required to.
In the bedroom of an 8th floor apartment unit and left one man dead. Janelle Massa, City News.
680 News Time 106. Happening now, a power outage in Vaughan as hundreds of residents in the cold. The boundaries are from Dufferin East to Bathurst and Center Street just south to Steeles. Nearly 400 homes and businesses are affected. Crews are on scene and working to restore power between 3 and 5 o'clock this morning. 680 News Time 107. A dramatic scene on the eastbound 401 after a flatbed truck carrying an excavator didn't make it cleanly under the overpass at the 400. OPP say the boom of the excavator struck the underpass, sending chunks of cement onto the highway. But Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says the truck never stopped.
The commercial vehicle continued down the highway. Witnesses reported this.
Police have now found the truck believed to have struck the bridge. Schmidt says charges are pending against the driver. Engineering crews are on scene to make sure the bridge is still structurally intact. 680 News Time at 107. Vaping's been a problem, whether you're here or south of the border. Stuart McGinn with the latest details.
The new restrictions follow similar action from many lower-level governments over recent months. Health Canada now recommending a full-on ban of the advertisement of any vaping products at a location where they could be seen by someone under the age of 18. But they're also adding regulations to packaging, requiring it be child-safe and equipped with health warnings.
The increase in youth vaping is troubling and calls out for comprehensive action by the federal government.
That's Rob Cunningham of the Canadian Cancer Society commenting on new numbers that show twice as many high school students across the country are vaping today compared to 2 years ago.
The restrictions on advertising are essential, as will be additional measures that the government intends to move forward on.
The agency also looking to limit nicotine values in vaping products. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time 108. Today circled in red for kids and parents across the GTA. It's the last day of school this year. Kids are off for the holidays and won't be back in class until after the new year. There's plenty to do with them while they're off, like hitting up the Bentway Skating Trail, which opens at noon today. The popular attraction will be open to the public until January the 5th. Everything from skate rentals to sharpenings range from $5 to $10. There's even a patio where you can warm up with some hot chocolate after you're done. Coming up, we'll check on the price at the pumps and at the traffic center with Carling Donahue, followed by your forecast. 680 News Time 109.
CAMH is Canada's leading hospital for mental health. Help make this year's holidays brighter for patients at CAMH through Gifts of Light. When you support Gifts of Light, a patient in need receives a gift that reminds them they aren't alone this holiday season. Small gifts can make a big difference to someone living with mental illness.
Yeah,
please.
Right. Small gifts, like what kind of weirdo shit you gonna tell people to give them? Police lay 228 charges in alleged illegal gambling ring tied to Hells Angels. Dozens of suspects are facing hundreds of charges after a sweeping investigation into an alleged illegal gambling operation with ties to known gangs and at least one homicide, Ontario Provincial Police said Thursday. The arrest marked the culmination of a nearly 2-year-long investigation centered on an alleged gambling ring operated by current or prospective members of the Hells Angels biker gang, OPP said. Yeah, they always do these long investigations. 2 years, eh? That's 2 annual department Christmas parties they had, sharing pictures of you with little jokes written on them. The Project Hobart saw the provincial force team up with 18 other agencies and police services across the province. Squad, eh? Holy. Including those in London, Niagara region, Sault Ste. Marie, and the Toronto and Hamilton areas. So South Central Ontario. Just say South. They won't say South Central Ontario, but they should. They don't want to because they think it's going to make it sound worse than it is, but that's what it is. Police laid out details of the operation at a news conference where OPP Commissioner Thomas Carrick said the millions of dollars allegedly generated through the elaborate gambling operation directly contributed to a wave of serious crime. Now, give them the benefit of the doubt here, because when they say that, the serious crime is the illegal gambling. So I don't know. We still haven't gotten to the homicide yet. So, quote, taking the profit out of illegal gaming and ill-gotten gains away from criminal organizations is essential to preventing further acts of violence. I don't know about that. I think you got it backwards. I think if you stop taking their money away, they stop killing each other. The incredible work done by the officers and specialists who worked on this investigation have done just that. Police said they launched Project Hobart. Why Hobart? What the fuck does that mean? Police said they launched Project Hobart in January 2018 in response to a spike in violence across Ontario and Quebec. Alleged offenses that triggered the investigation included, wow, it's a list. Attempted murders, arsons, extortion, and assaults, they said, but offered no additional details. Just put more of the same. Police said they eventually zeroed in on a gaming house in Mississauga, Ontario, as well as 5 allegedly illegal gambling websites run by known members of the Hells Angels. The sites operated under the names Ultimate SB, Titan SB, Play to Win SB, Privada SB, and Players SB. Police said, what the fuck is SB? Did I miss it? SB. Investigators allege this again. The big crime is that they're in Canada running the site. If the site was run from some other fucking country and you used it from Canada, they can't prosecute that. So the big crime is that they're keeping the money in the country. Wow. Investigators allege the sites brought in a total of $13 million from January to July of this year alone, noting they likely raked in gross profits of $131 million over the past 5 years. Nice. So the thing there is, if they can make it into an illegal enterprise, they can hold them to take $131 million from them. Police also alleged the ring, with ties to at least one organized crime family, was linked to a homicide west of Toronto earlier this year. Michael Diabetua Schuld was gunned down in the parking lot of a Mississauga gym in March. Local police had previously said Diabetua Schuld was a member of the Niagara chapter of the Hells Angels, and the provincial force said Thursday he was directly tied to the alleged gambling ring. 4 people have been charged with first-degree murder in his death. Okay, so they were linked to a homicide, but it was one of them that got killed. So, police said searches related to the investigation netted 21 firearms and millions of dollars worth of cash, vehicles, jewelry, vacation homes, and gold and silver bars. Nice. Classy. Well, I guess you would have some firearms around to protect all that. They've charged 28 people total They've charged 28 people with a total of 228 offenses, including breach of trust, bookmaking, money laundering, tax evasion, and commission of offenses for the benefit of a criminal organization. Yeah, or if they can nail them with commission of offenses for the benefit of a criminal organization, they can label. I guess this would be within Ontario. The Hells Angels within Ontario is now an illegal organization, and if you are a member, and therefore if you're wearing a jacket, if you have a shirt that says Route 81, all of a sudden you're gang related, and the cops can fuck with you for that. So. This don't make no sense to me. Three former St. Michael's students sentenced to 2 years probation in sex assault case. 3 former students of an all-boys Catholic school in Toronto were sentenced on Thursday to 2 years of probation for assaulting and sexually assaulting 2 fellow students on campus. Family members hugged the 3 boys, and some of them cried after the... Seriously? After the judge's sentencing decision came down in a Toronto courtroom. The teens pleaded for fucking probation, you cried. After the judge's sentencing decision came down in a Toronto courtroom, the teens pleaded guilty in October to sexual assault with a weapon and assault with a weapon. One of them, who recorded one of the sex assaults on his cell phone, also pleaded guilty to making child pornography. An agreed statement of facts says there were 2 separate incidents at St. Michael's College School last fall where boys on one of the school's football teams pinned down 2 different victims and sexually assaulted them with a broom handle. I can't believe I just had to say that. None of the accused or the victims can be identified due to provisions in the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Oh shit, which one is it? The scandal erupted in November 2018 when police launched an investigation into allegations of sexual assault and assault on campus. Investigators said they uncovered 8 incidents and proceeded with charges against 7 boys for 3 of those incidents. The charges against 2 other students have been dropped, while another one has pleaded guilty and also received a 2-year probationary sentence. Probationary sentence? Just, what do you mean? With no jail time. So they got probation. The 7th teen is scheduled to go to trial next year. Wow. The allegation sparked a national conversation about bullying and had a profound effect on the school's community. The fallout hit the school's administration, with the principal and the board president resigning amid criticism of its handling of the case. An independent committee set up to examine the culture at St. Michael's found that bullying remained a quote-unquote systemic problem despite extensive measures taken by the school in the wake of the scandal. It also found hazing was not a problem. So I don't know what their definition of hazing versus bullying is. The committee issued a 123-page report in August that offered 36 recommendations, including developing a comprehensive strategy to address bullying and robust staff training to deal with the issue. The school promised to adopt all recommendations. In a statement Thursday, St. Michael said it continues to pray for, quote, all of the individuals involved and their families. Oh, that's helpful. That's real helpful.
No matter what their income circumstances happen to. The deal is the first of what the federal government hopes will be 13 funding agreements for the new rent supplement for low-income households. 680 News Time, 119 deals to replace the North American Free Trade Agreements passed a major hurdle.
I've heard that before. I've never seen a rent supplement.
Jerry Smith of the Canadian Press reports.
Bill supporting the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement has been approved with overwhelming bipartisan support. Passage came just one day after the Democratic-led House impeached the Republican president. The deal's already been approved by Mexico. It must still be ratified by the House of Commons. A vote isn't expected until the new year.
680 News Time, 1:19. Russian officials say an officer of Russia's main security agency has been killed by an unidentified gunman near its Moscow headquarters. Reporter Ian Panel says 5 other people were wounded in the shooting.
A lone gunman opening fire just before 6 o'clock outside the headquarters of the feared FSB, Russia's successor to the KGB. Eyewitnesses capturing the terror as shots rang out in the streets around the FSB's notorious Lubyanka building.
Russia's Federal Security Service says the gunman has been neutralized, a term usually used by Russian officials when an assailant is killed. 680 News, Canada's Supreme Court ruled the son of a Russian spy couple who lived clandestine lives in Canada and the United States can keep his Canadian citizenship. Alex Vavilov was born in Toronto, which would typically qualify him for Canadian citizenship, except for one thing, his parents were part of a notorious Russian spy ring in North America. Vavilov can now live permanently in the country where his parents once lived clandestine lives as deeply embedded spies who were the models for the TV show The Americans. At 4:30 this afternoon, he'll be holding a press conference at 1 King West.
Oh, but is he gonna write a book too,
traffic and weather next.
And now a message
You're
from
supposed to
Vistaprint.
shut up and go away when you win one of those things.
This is a cow. The cow that made the milk.
Supposed to get super Canadian and go move out to the country and get a hat with a maple leaf and everything.
Cheese only lasts so long. The impression a small business like Tober Dairy Farm makes can last much longer, with the right business card to back it up. That's why Vistaprint is offering 500 truly personalized business cards starting at $9.99. That's 500 cards with exactly the look you want for just $9.99. Plug your information and logo into hundreds of fresh designs tailored to your type of company, or upload your own original layout. Pick from paper styles like matte, glossy, or uncoated. You can even upgrade to a unique touch like rounded corners. The choice is yours. The time is now. I said now, not cow, Farmer Tober. Get 500 business cards starting at $9.99 at Vistaprint.ca with promo code 3131. That's promo code 3131 at checkout on Vistaprint.ca. Vistaprint, own the now.
680 News Time, 1:21. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
It's a delay-free morning across the GTA right now. We do have a bit of construction going on here and there. If you're on the East 401 at Huron, Ontario, we have all express lanes shut down for some construction. So that's not really affecting your drive, actually, because there's no delays and Collectors is moving just fine at this time. We have the westbound Mississauga road ramp to the highway blocked off. At the 400, the Collector to Express transfer is closed as well. And then at Avenue Road in the Express, a right lane shut down due to a collision. Emergency crews are on the scene. Westbound on the 401, the ramps to Markham Road are closed off for a collision. At Brimley, the Express to Collector transfer shut down as well. And at the 404, the Express to Collector transfer is closed with the Keel ramps to the highway blocked off at this time. Westbound Essa ramp to northbound 400 closed off. You're not able to access the West 407 from Leslie or the 404. All those ramps are closed. Southbound Evans Avenue ramp to westbound QEW blocked off. At the southbound Allen at Yorkdale, all road lanes, live lanes are closed off right now. That's just for some construction. Eastbound QEW at Cawthra and Dixie, 2 right lanes are closed off for maintenance. We have the Dixie ramps to the East QEW closed, and there's no access to the North 427. With the forecast, Adam Stiles.
Winds out of the east means lake effect snow possible for the west end of the GTA. And in fact, some areas expecting 5 to 15 centimeters of accumulation. And if the winds wiggle a little bit, we'll see some of that snow sneaking into areas like South Mississauga and Oakville. But right now I have it sort of pegged between Burlington and Hamilton for most of that snow to occur. It will happen during the morning hours. By the afternoon, the winds start to become lighter and shift around. -4 the daytime high today. Wind chill expected near -18 early on. Afternoon, about -8. Sunshine for most of the GTA with a few clouds into the afternoon hours. Tomorrow morning down to -8 to start the morning. Wind chill at -13, heading up to a high of +2 with a partly cloudy sky. And Sunday, it's a partly cloudy sky with a high of +5. Today, it's -4 in the forecast with a wind chill between -8 and -18.
Right now downtown, -6, partly cloudy, feeling more like -13 over at Pearson Airport. Similar conditions and -7. Remember, 680 News is the only radio station with a weather guarantee. Today's jackpot stands at $9,800. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the latest on a busy day for planes, trains, and automobiles, and what Mother Nature has in store. 680 News Time, 124.
Your holiday feast is on now at Mandarin. We've added traditional favorites to our all-you-can-eat buffet for a limited time while supplies last. Choose from featured dishes like roast turkey with all the fixings, spicy firecracker shrimp, pesto chicken pasta, ribeye steak, and a tasty array of holiday desserts. And if you're celebrating at home or in the office, try Mandarin party menus for takeout and delivery. So ring in your reservation today and may all your meals be merry.
When you need to know. Breaking news this morning from Hong Kong, where a pro-democracy demonstrator has been shot with a live round.
Traffic.
Just watching these trucks on the 404 southbound approaching Shipper drive away. All lanes have just reopened now.
Warnings now include Burlington, Oakville, Halton Hills, Milton. So when you hear warning, this is when the storms are happening now and you need to get inside.
When you need to know.
We're here.
This is 680 News.
It all starts December 26th at 7 a.m. FactoryDirect.ca's $10 million Boxing Week inventory blowout. Crazy deals on TVs, tablets, computers, cell phones, electronics, kitchen appliances, and more. They slash prices up to 80% off. 4K TVs from $199. Dyson cordless vacuums from $229. Apple MacBooks, iPhones, and iPads all on sale. Visit FactoryDirect.ca or one of 22 stores and sign up for early access to the Boxing Week flyer. Doors open on December 26th at 7 a.m. Quantities are limited. Don't miss out.
Happy holidays from the Monitoring Center. Let the Monitoring Center provide you peace of mind over the holiday season. Switch your current alarm system to TMC or pick from one of our customizable installation packages and let us protect what matters most. Think the Monitoring Center for your home security needs. Think security? Think the Monitoring Center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 or $9.99. 1-866-24-7 or $9.99.
Time for all Christmas news at 25 minutes past each hour, brought to you by the Scott Mission. The Bentway Skate Trail's open today. It's a popular attraction. You can get everything from skate rentals to sharpenings for $5 to $10, and it'll be open until the new year.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
680 News time 126. Now the 680 News Business Report.
Good morning. Investors are watching for third quarter results from BlackBerry today. According to Bloomberg Intelligence, the earnings will reveal much about its growth prospects, which hinge on its Internet of Things strategy. The company is apparently looking at leverage its strong security capabilities to capture shares in this emerging market. On base, shares of BlackBerry rose by 3.1% in Thursday trading. A winning day for North American markets with record closing highs for Wall Street. On Bay Street, the TSX was higher by 32 points, 17,064. Stateside, the Dow was higher by 137 points, 28,376. NASDAQ looking at a 7-day rally up by 59, 8,887, while the S&P added 14, 3,205. Now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It rose $5.40, finishing at $1,484. While oil notched a fresh 3-month high up by 0.5%, closing at $61.22 a barrel. Canadian crude index adding 1.4% to finish about $40 a barrel, while the Canadian dollar moved in the opposite direction of gold and oil, losing 0.05 of a cent, closing at 76.19 cents US. Economists are on the lookout for Canadian retail sales for October. Some are expecting a 0.1% decline from September. And with more on what's to come today, here's Bloomberg's Larry Kofsky.
Stocks could be in for a wild ride as we close out the week. Today is a so-called quadruple witching day when certain stock futures and options expire. We can expect more trading volume and volatility. Patrick Palfrey at Credit Suisse says the market is set up for a strong start to the new year.
We think the bulk of the gains are going to be generated in the first half. As we get to the back half of the year, we don't see a problem. We just think it's going to be a front half loaded year.
A trio of economic reports also
front half loaded today. You're just saying you're not going to be fit and good for performance for at least the next 6 months, right?
GDP. And the University of Michigan will have its final consumer sentiment reading for the year. Larry Kofsky, Bloomberg Radio.
At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant. Our Kids Club features a dedicated check-in counter, in-flight goodies, priority baggage handling, and a giraffe. Ask your parents, sweetie. Air Transat. Vacation is calling. We wish you a healthy Christmas. We wish you a healthy Christmas. We wish you a healthy Christmas and a smoke-free New Year. Don't let smoking stop you from achieving your New Year's goals. Use Nicoderm and Nicorette combination therapy to help you conquer your cravings. Nicoderm provides 24-hour withdrawal support, while Nicorette provides fast relief of breakthrough cravings. So now, nothing else will mingle with your holiday jingle. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart. To be sure these products are right for you, always read and follow the label.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant, inviting all passengers to fly with their own personal celebrity chef. Treat yourself on all our flights to our gourmet menu by Danielle Vezina.
Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
Now with your business travelers forecast in the nation's capital. There it is, a clear sky and -13. Montreal clear and -10. Winnipeg overcast -10 as well. And if you're headed south of the border, New York City, a clear sky and -2. Right now downtown, -6, feeling more like -13. 680 News Time, 1:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good morning. This is Friday, December the 20th. I'm Denise Bebek.
And I'm Tim Chapman. Here's what's making news this hour.
Pearson will be chock full of 138,000 passengers today, with the airport dubbing today the busiest travel day of the year.
It'll be a messy drive for some commuters, with blowing snow set to hit just in time for the morning commute.
Displaced residents of 235 Gosford Boulevard finally getting some good news on when they can return home.
With vaping numbers on the rise, Health Canada is now taking action, proposing a number of regulations in an effort to keep the products out of the hands of young people. Raptors Pascal Siakam, Marcus Saul, and Norm Powell are all out indefinitely with injuries as the Maple Leafs get ready for the Rangers in New York. Sports at 45. Economists are preparing for the latest retail sales data for Canada today. Earnings are also expected from BlackBerry as BM Wall Street come off a winning session, with all 3 U.S. benchmarks set to begin trading at all-time highs.
News Time, 1:31.
Time for travel and foot traffic, rather. Weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
Well, thanks, and you weren't wrong. We are traveling, but we'll tell you where to travel and where to avoid right now. If you're on the eastbound 401 in Ontario in the Express, they do have all express lanes shut down. That is just for some construction, but collectors are moving fine, so not to worry. At the 400, the collector to express transfer is blocked off for some maintenance. At Avenue Road in the Express, there is a right lane closed with a collision emergency cruiser on scene. And Morningside, the collector to express transfer shut down as well. Westbound on the 401 at Thixon, 2 left lanes closed. The ramps to Markham Road are shut down with a collision. At Brimley, the express to collector transfer shut down as well. At the 404, same situation, no access from express to collector. That transfer's closed. And then we have the Keel ramps to the highway blocked as well. Leslie and the 404, you do not have access to the west 407. All of those ramps are closed off this morning. We have the westbound Essa Road ramp to the northbound 400 closed for some construction. And then jumping onto the QEW, if you're traveling westbound, no access to that highway from southbound Evans Avenue. And if you're going eastbound at Copra and Dixie, you'll run into 2 right lanes in both locations closed off for some maintenance. We have the Dixie ramps to the highway blocked off, and there's no access to the north 427. With your forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
West Enders waking up with some snow. Exactly, your line of risk is going to be sort of South Mississauga all the way down to about Stony Creek, with the bulk of it falling between Burlington and Hamilton. Daytime highs today near -4. Sunshine early on to start off here in the city. We'll see a few clouds into the afternoon with that east wind up to 20 kilometers per hour. Today's high temperature -4, wind chill -8.
Right now downtown -6, partly cloudy, feeling more like -13. Over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions, and -7. 680 News Time, 1:33.
Employees at Pearson Airport are preparing for the busiest travel day of the holiday season. The Greater Toronto Airports Authority estimates about 138,000 passengers will be making their way through the airport today.
Spokesperson Tori Yass tells 680 News, while summer's often busier than the holiday season, people are more stressed at this time of year.
Can be a bit more hectic. There's a bit more stress, holiday stress involved. So you might have people that are traveling with more of their families, or maybe they only tour once a year, or just stressed because of the holidays. So definitely come early. Leave yourself lots of time. Pack patience.
An average of 130,000 travelers per day are expected during the rest of the holiday season.
Today is also the first day of winter, and Mother Nature isn't going to let us forget it. Thursday snowfall made for a slow drive in parts of the GTA and surrounding areas, and today areas west of the city will be hit once again. Our meteorologist Adam Stiles says more snow will be making for a tricky drive into work.
We're likely going to see slow conditions through the morning commute in the west end of the GTA from South Mississauga through Oakville. Hardest hit areas are going to be Burlington and Hamilton. When does it happen? Terrible timing, right in the morning commute. So reduced visibility expected with deteriorating road conditions.
The city is likely to miss out on the bulk of the snowfall, and as we get closer to the weekend, temperatures are on their way up. We're expecting a high of 4 degrees by Sunday.
680 News Time, 1:34. After being displaced by a 5-alarm fire at a North York high-rise last month, displaced residents of 235 Gosford Boulevard are finally getting some good news. Mayor John Tory says a shipment of doors will finish being delivered today, marking a significant step in the repairs to the units damaged in the fire. Tory says he believes the timeline is now down to weeks for reoccupancy for most of the residents. However, about 24 units will take longer to fix. Until then, Toronto Raptors shooting guard Norman Powell will be hosting a holiday event on Saturday for displaced residents. Powell will be visiting residents, delivering gifts, and signing autographs with families.
680 News Time, 1:35.
You can't come stay at
The
your
truck driver
house?
has been arrested after his cargo damaged the Highway 400 overpass over the 401. OPP say it happened around 7:30 yesterday on the eastbound express lanes of the 401. The boom of an excavator that was being hauled by a flatbed truck slammed into the 400 overpass. Sergeant Kerry Schmidt says some damage was left behind.
There was chunks of concrete that fell from the bridge onto the highway below. No collisions or damage to any other vehicles involved.
Police say after the crash, the driver did not stop and continued eastbound on the 401. Both driver and truck were found just a few hours later.
680 News Time, 1:36. Happening now in Vaughan, it's a cold night for hundreds of residents dealing with a power outage. The outage from Dufferin east to Bathurst and Centre Street south to Steeles is affecting nearly 400 homes and businesses. Crews are on scene, but it could be several hours before power is restored.
This is 680 News. Toronto police say a man is in hospital with serious injuries after stabbing in Scarborough. Officers say the victim called them to the area of Bonus and Birchmount around 6:30 Thursday evening. And when they arrived, they found him unconscious and bleeding seriously. He was transported to hospital, but police say they still don't know where exactly the stabbing happened, and they don't have any details on a possible suspect. Anyone with information is asked to come forward.
Health Canada wants kids to stop smoking regardless of how they choose to do it. New numbers are showing that the use of e-cigarettes has more than doubled for high school students.
This follows the same action for both city health officials and the Ontario PCs, and now Health Canada is taking it one step further.
Right now, youth are being exposed to e-cigarette advertising in social media, on billboards, on television, and that's going to end with these regulations.
The federal government also announcing requirements that vaping packages must feature health warnings and be child resistant. But Rob Cunningham with the Canadian Cancer Society says more needs to be done.
There needs to be a comprehensive set of measures to reach the vaping, including restrictions on flavors, maximum nicotine levels, and a tax.
Meanwhile, the big picture, though, still troubling. The latest stats on vaping show double the amount of high school students are using e-cigarettes today compared with numbers just 2 years ago. I'm Stuart McGinn.
Yeah, that's
680 News Time, 1:37. The timing is terrible. The Raptors will be playing against the Washington Wizards tonight without 3 of their key players. Sportsnet 590, the fans' Rob Wong reports.
The Raptors have battled injuries all season long and right now are dealing with their toughest test yet. The team announcing that 3 of their current starters are out indefinitely after all suffering injuries in their win against Detroit. Pascal Siakam hurt his groin after an awkward landing. Norm Powell partially dislocated his shoulder after a collision with Detroit's Blake Griffin. And Marcus Gasol strained his left hamstring. The Raptors will begin life without those players when they host Washington on Friday night. From Sportsnet 590 The Fan, I'm Rob Wong.
680 News Time, 1:38. You'll now have to go online to see what some might argue is the best part of the Super Bowl, the commercials. The Supreme Court has just ruled that only Canadian ads will air during the big game.
It was 2017 when Canadians first started seeing all those wonderfully creative spots during the Super Bowl when regulators decided to prohibit the practice of what's called simultaneous substitution during the game. That's where Canadian broadcasters sub out U.S. feeds for their own, allowing them to sell commercial time locally. Exclusive broadcaster Bell on the NFL appealed the decision and were rejected by a lower court, but now the Supreme Court of Canada has just overturned the CRTC's ruling. It all means if you only watch the Super Bowl for those splashy, extravagant commercials, hello, who's there? You're out of luck. Though you can't see them online anyways. I'm Dieter and Siva.
Still to
It
come
is
on
this thing
680
called the
News, traffic
internet.
and weather together on the ones, but first to check on the price of the pumps. 680 News Time, 1:39.
Here's to Toronto, to the early risers, to the commuters, to the go-getters. Here's to the innovators, the trendsetters, and the people that believe. Here's to downtown, midtown, and uptown. Here's to those that work hard every day. Here's to the many that never accept second best. Make us.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Ambrose says the price of gas did not change at midnight, holding at $1.17.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 1:40.
First and best. Breaking news when it happens on 680 News.
At the monitoring center, you don't need new equipment to be protected. TMC excels in converting your existing alarm system while saving you money. Our rates can't be beat, and our service is second to none. Call the monitoring center today. Let us show you how we can save you money. Think security? Think the monitoring center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 for $9.99. 1-866-24-7 for $9.99.
Need window inspiration? Then you need to speak to the experts. Hi, I'm Tom Rokiki of Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Our window experts are experienced in working with architects, builders, and homeowners to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So whether you're replacing your old windows or building your dream home, dream the dream with Inline Fiberglass. If you can dream it, we can build it. Visit our Factory Direct showroom, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or inlinefiberglass.com.
680 News Time, 1:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carlene Donahue.
Thank you, Eden. Well, we're seeing a delay-free morning right now out on the major routes, which is a huge change from what we had a few hours ago, but so still some construction spots here and there. So East 401 at Hurontario and the Express, we have all lanes shut down. Actually, that is for some construction. At the 400, the Collector to Express transfers closed as well. At Avenue Road and the Express, we have a right lane blocked with a collision emergency cruiser on scene. And at Morningside, the Collector to Express transfers shut down as well. Westbound on the 401 at Dixon, 2 left lanes closed. The ramps to Markham Road are closed off for a collision. Brimley Express to Collector transfer blocked off for some maintenance. Approaching McCowan, the transfer from Collector to Express is closed off. Approaching Kennedy, 2 left lanes blocked. And at the 404, no access to the Collector from Express. That transfer is being closed. The Keel ramps to the West 401 are also blocked at this time. You have no access to the West 407 from Leslie or the 404 this morning. All of those ramps have been closed for maintenance. We do have the westbound ESSA ramp to the northbound 400 blocked off as well. Southbound Evans Avenue, no access to the West QEW. Southbound Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are being shut down. This is for some construction. We'll update you if they reopen that. Southbound 410 ramp to eastbound 401, a left lane is closed off. On the eastbound QEW at Cawthra and Dixie, there's 2 right lanes closed in each location for some construction. The Dixie ramps to the highway are closed and there's no access to the northbound 427. With your forecast, here's Adam Stiles.
Sunshine for most of the GTA with the exception of the west end. Lake effect snow coming in off Lake Ontario. There'll be some spots that see anywhere from 5 to 15 centimeters of this fluffy lake effect snow. It'll slow down the morning commute. Winds will become a bit lighter and a bit more disorganized as the day progresses. With a high -4 in the forecast, increasing cloud cover for everybody else. Wind chill today between -8 and -18. We're down to -8 to start off the morning tomorrow with a wind chill at -13. It's a mix of sun and cloud during the day and a high of +2 in the forecast. Today, -4, wind chill between -8 and -18.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly
How do you get -4 to
-18? Feeling more like
-18?
-13 with the wind chill, and at Pearson Airport, cloudy -7, but feeling like -14. A Vermont Police Department has added a bit of holiday cheer to its radar speed signs. The Chester Police Department posted photos on Facebook of radar signs that illuminate naughty for speeders and nice for drivers following the speed limit. And the color scheme matters, of course. The speed shows up as green numbers for nice drivers and red numbers for naughty ones. Still to come on 680 News, it seems like crazy weather is the new normal. 680 News Time, 1:43.
Hey everyone, Sam from Best Brand Appliance. So us and Sub-Zero Wolf are bringing you just in time for the holiday season, the Sub-Zero Wolf outlet between 25 to 45% off Sub-Zero and Wolf. An incredible opportunity for all of you who are building or renovating, and also an amazing opportunity for all you designers and builders to get your clients massive discounts on Sub-Zero Wolf. This is in-store only, so just come to our Toronto or Vaughan location and see our amazing reps. If you're seeking Sub-Zero Wolf, come see the Sub-Zero Wolf outlet now at Best Brand Appliance.
Look, I'll drive you guys home, but you need to chill. Everyone buckle up and stop messing around. I didn't sign up as DD just to end up in a ditch.
Even sober, young drivers are 9 times more likely to crash. Speak your mind. ChangeTheConversation.ca.
There's something fucked up about those numbers. I don't think that's
kids here to get
correct.
everyone home safely. Let's not have this win end in a loss. Convicted drunk drivers will be stopped at the U.S. border. Change the Conversation. Sponsored by the Brewers Association of Canada.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Cloudy and -6 degrees, but feeling more like -13 with the wind chill. Good morning. In the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eunice Beba, and here are the top stories this hour. Lots and lots of people, 138,000 to be exact. That's what officials at Pearson Airport say you would expect to see as they declare today the busiest travel day of the year. You'll want to head to your flight earlier than usual with lots of crowds expected to come. And as if the crowds weren't enough, the morning's forecast is calling for messy conditions, including steady snowfall and blustering winds. But there won't be much accumulation. The timing of snow will make the drive-in a hard one this morning. And coming up after sports, just in time for the new year, Ottawa is stepping in to help the province introduce a new housing benefit. 680 News Time, 1:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Rob Wong.
Well, it was a costly win for the Raptors in Detroit as the team says 3 of their players are out indefinitely after suffering injuries against the Pistons. Pascal Siakam is battling a groin injury, Marc Gasol a hamstring strain, and Norm Powell a partially dislocated shoulder. Meantime, Fred VanVleet could make his return tonight against Washington as he is listed as questionable with his knee contusion. After watching Frederik Andersen get the bulk of the starts of late, Michael Hutchinson will return to action on Saturday when the Maple Leafs host Detroit.
I'm feeling good. I feel really good with where my practice is. Mentally, I'm feeling like I'm in a good headspace, which is a huge thing.
The Leafs visiting the New York Rangers this evening as Anderson will get the call in that one. On the ice, the Montreal Canadiens coming back to beat the Calgary Flames 4-3 in overtime. Elsewhere, the Flyers beat the Sabres 6-1. The Senators edged the Predators 5-4 in overtime as the Blackhawks beat the Jets 4-1. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 1:46.
Year after year, the Alta Group of Infinity dealers has won awards for customer satisfaction. They've also won awards for the number of Infinities they've sold. If you're shopping or need to service your vehicle, go that customers are pleased and the vehicles are plentiful. Alta Infinity Woodbridge, 400 Infinity Innisfil, Infinity of Brampton, Canada's #1 volume Infinity Group. Go to altagroup.ca.
Part of the Zankin Auto Group.
A celebration of taste. Your holiday feast is on now at Mandarin. We've added traditional favorites to our all-you-can-eat buffet for a limited time while supplies last. Choose from featured dishes like roast turkey with all the fixings, spicy firecracker shrimp, pesto chicken pasta, ribeye steak, and a tasty array of holiday desserts. And if you're celebrating at home or in the office, try Mandarin party menus for takeout and delivery. So ring in your reservation today and may all your meals be merry.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. The chief meteorologist at Environment Canada says it's almost as if normal weather doesn't happen anymore. Dave Phillips says it seems the climate is wobbling all over the place, especially in a year in which there was thunder at the North Pole and 7 straight months of freeze in southern Canada. Phillips says if people thought 2019 was packed with extremes, just wait until next year.
The oceans are the warmest they've ever been, and the heat content of the oceans is just, again, the warmest reserve in history that they've been observing these things. So I think it's a slam dunk that we're going to have another warm year. Our models are showing milder than normal for winter, so we're going to maybe start off that way.
His top Canadian weather story for 2019, the April flood of the Ottawa River that drenched or threatened more than 6,000 homes. This is 680 News. Ottawa is stepping in to help the province introduce a new housing benefit next year. The two levels of government are teaming up for the almost $1.5 billion investment, splitting it 50-50. Provincial Housing Minister Steve Clark says the money is aimed at lower-income families and people in need.
It's going to be based on a combination between the average market rent in the community and also the income level of the household.
The province is the one that gets to decide where the money goes, and at this point, it's unclear how much of it Toronto will get. But Clark says it will be a lot. The average subsidy is expected to be around $575 a month, but it will be decided on a by-case scenario, so that number can be higher.
So,
The judges discriminated or rather dismissed charges
you're gonna
against
go one by
Afghanistan
one and
hostage
do
Joshua
this?
Boyle, who has been accused of assaulting his now estranged wife, Caitlin Coleman. Boyle's lawyer, Lawrence Greenspoon, says the ruling was thorough.
It was a extremely thorough review of all of the evidence, and we're very, very pleased with the result.
Judge Peter Doody says that the Crown failed to prove and provide beyond a reasonable doubt that Boyle committed multiple offenses against Coleman, including assault, sexual assault, and unlawful confinement. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 1:50.
It all starts December 26th at 7 a.m. FactoryDirect.ca's $10 million Boxing Week inventory blowout. Crazy deals on TVs, tablets, computers, cell phones, electronics, kitchen appliances, and more. They've slashed prices up to 80% off. 4K TVs from $199. Dyson cordless vacuums from $229. Apple MacBooks, iPhones, and iPads all on sale. Visit FactoryDirect.ca or one of 22 stores and sign up for early access to the Boxing Week flyer. Doors open on December 26th at 7 a.m. Quantities are limited. Don't miss out.
CAMH is Canada's leading hospital for mental health. Help make this year's holidays brighter for patients at CAMH through Gifts of Light.
I've only let two
When you
fucking
support Gifts of
psychopaths
Light,
escape this
a
year.
patient in need receives a gift
Holy
that
fuck.
reminds them they aren't alone this holiday season. Small gifts can make a big difference to someone living with mental illness. Please, give a gift of light to someone in need at giftsoflight.ca today.
News Time, 1:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carlin Donahue.
It is a decent morning out there on the major routes. We do have some construction here and there, but none of it really impacting your drive too much. We'll start with the QEW. If you're traveling eastbound at Copra, 2 right lanes are shut down for construction. We have the Dixie ramps to the highway closed. At Dixie, there's 2 right lanes blocked off as well, and then there's no access to the northbound 427. If you're on the westbound QEW, the southbound Evans Avenue ramp to that highway is shut down for some construction. Southbound on the Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are shut down right now for some construction work. We'll let you know if that reopens. If you're on the southbound 427, we have the express ramp to the eastbound QEW closed off for some maintenance work. And northbound 400, no access to that highway from westbound Essa Road. There's no access to the west 407 from Leslie or either side of the 404. Jumping onto the east 401 now at Hurontario, all express lanes are closed. Collectors moving fine through that stretch. At the 400, the collector 2 express transfers blocked off. At Avenue Road, there was a collision there in the express, but that has just cleared moments ago. So that's some good news there. And then Morningside, the collector 2 express transfers blocked as well. Westbound 401, the ramps to Markham Road are shut down due to a collision. At Brimley, the express to collector transfers blocked. Same with the 404, express to collector transfer closed. And the Keel ramps to the highway are blocked off for maintenance. Your next report at 2:01 with the forecast, Adam Stiles.
Lake effect snow could drive in some accumulating snow into the West GTA areas from Oakville to about Stony Creek, the main spots at risk. If the winds wiggle a little bit to the north, it can start to sneak into areas like South Mississauga. So something to be on the lookout for during the morning commute. Looks like it will be slow in the west. Everyone else will be sunny. Daytime highs near -4. Wind chill value today -8 to -18. Overnight, we dropped to -8 with a partly cloudy sky. Wind chill tomorrow morning at -13. Warming up to above freezing by the afternoon. +2 in the forecast and partly cloudy. Sunday, it's a mix of sun and cloud. Winds out of the southwest up to 35 kilometers per hour. Heading up to a high of +5. Today, it's -4 in the forecast with lake effect snow expected in the west.
Right now in downtown Toronto and over at Pearson Airport, partly cloudy skies. -6 degrees, but feeling more like -14 with the wind chill. Coming up at 2 o'clock, it'll be a good idea to get to Pearson earlier than usual if you're flying out, with today being dubbed as the busiest travel day of the year. 680 News Time, 1:53.
Hey guys, have you been on medication or just feel lousy because of your weight? Sleep apnea, sciatica, I had it all. Until I met the team at Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. I'm Pat Carano, a 51-year-old accounting professional from Woodbridge. And I'm telling you, losing my weight has changed my life.
Don't miss 20% off 2020 memberships. New members only. Call now, 416-222-9887. HarveyBrooker.com.
If you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
The 680 News Cruiser is everywhere.
Live 24/7 from the streets in your neighborhood.
Covering the latest breaking news, traffic, and weather.
No one covers local news like 680 News.
The 680 News Cruiser.
Powered by Don Valley North Toyota.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Peel police are looking for 2 suspects in connection with a break-in at a home in Mississauga. It happened before 3 in the afternoon on December 5th in the Eglinton and Credit View Road area. Police say the suspect broke through the front door and they were chased off when the homeowner arrived, but not before stealing over $10,000 worth of jewelry. The property damage to the house is estimated at $1,000. Security camera footage of one of the suspects is available on the Peel Police website. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. And Peel Police also arresting 4 people in connection to delivery thefts in Brampton. The suspects ranging in age from 24 to 39, and 2 of them are men from Toronto. More expensive parcels circulating this time of year also means that more thefts and deliveries to residencies and community mailboxes. Police are reminding the public to be on the lookout for those so-called porch pirates throughout the holidays. You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our business report. 680 News Time, 1:55.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant. Our Kids Club features a dedicated check-in counter, in-flight goodies, priority baggage handling, and a giraffe? Ask your parents, sweetie. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
Switch from your current alarm provider today and save. The Monitoring Center reviews say it all. Join the tens of thousands of homeowners who wish they had switched to the Monitoring Center sooner. Call us today or visit us at themonitoringcenter.com for a free quotation and start saving now. Think security? Think the Monitoring Center. Why? Because we care.
1-866-24-7 or $9.99. 1-866-24-7 or $9.99.
This is your Air Transat flight attendant, inviting all passengers to fly with their own personal celebrity chef. Treat yourself on all our flights to our gourmet menu by Danielle Vezina. Air Transat. Vacation is calling.
680 News Time, 1:56. Now time for the 680 News Business Report with Carla Garnish.
Good morning. Canadian retail data is on the economic calendar today. Some economists are forecasting October retail sales fell at 10% from September. And after the consumer price index for November showed a jump this week, could all this data change the Bank of Canada's stance on interest rates next year? Sal Gualtieri, Director and Senior Economist at BMO Capital Markets, does not think so.
With core inflation now averaging just a bit above the bank's target, I think the Bank of Canada will be reluctant to ease policy. So it's very much a story of the bank staying on the sidelines for at least another year.
Canadian dollar lost 5/100ths of a cent, closing at 76.19 cents U.S. A winning day for Bay and Wall Street. TSX higher by 32 points, 17,064. Stateside, more record closing highs for all 3 U.S. benchmarks. Dow rose 137 points, 28,376. S&P added 14 points, 3,205. And a 7-day rally for the Nasdaq, gaining 59 points, 8,887. Now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It rose $5.40, finishing at $1,484. Oil was up 0.5%, closing at $61.22 a barrel, with the Canadian crude index higher by 1.4% to finish about $40 a barrel. Earnings are expected from BlackBerry today, and with more on what's to come, here's Bloomberg's Larry Kofsky.
Today is the so-called quadruple witching day, when certain stock futures and options expire. We can expect more trading volume and volatility. After stumbling at the box office and irking some fans, Disney is betting that it can win them back with the latest chapter of the Star Wars series. Marketing for the film, which opens today, hits hard on nostalgia and plays up the fact that there won't be another Star Wars film for years. Last year's Solo generated less than $400 million in theaters worldwide, a franchise worst.
Today's economic calendar brings reports on GDP, personal incomes and spending, and consumer sentiment. Lowry Kofsky, Bloomberg Radio.
At Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
Making your smart speaker even smarter.
Alexa, play 680 News.
Playing 680 News.
CAMH is Canada's leading hospital for mental health. Help make this year's holidays brighter for patients at CAMH.
Tell the truth, you need money
When
to
you
build the
support
fucking
Gifts of Light,
banks.
a patient in need receives a gift that reminds them they aren't alone this holiday season. Small gifts can make a big difference to someone living with mental illness. Please, give a gift of light to someone in need at giftsoflight.ca today.
Welcome to Valet by Park and Fly, the easiest and quickest way to park by the airport. Just pull up, check in, and go. You never have to worry about finding a parking spot. It's a real thing of beauty for travelers. Quick and easy, an all-time great combo. Just like rest and relaxation, peanut butter and jam, and socks and sandals. It's like my feet are inside and outside. Valet by Park and Fly. It's the easiest and quickest way to park happy. Plus, get an optional oil change or detailing while you're away. Visit parkandfly.ca for details.
In Burlington, partly cloudy, -6 degrees. Hamilton, partly cloudy and -6 as well. In Mississauga, mostly cloudy, -7. And right now in downtown Toronto, overcast and -6. 680 News Time, 2 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good morning. This is Friday, December the 20th. I'm Tim Chapman.
And I'm Indeed Bella. Here's what's making news this hour.
Take a deep breath. The busiest travel day of the year is here, and Pearson says you should back your patience.
It's also the first day of winter today, and Mother Nature is celebrating with 5 to 10 centimeters of snow west of the city.
Gosford residents get some good news from Mayor Tory, who's personally offered up his email for anyone with a complaint.
Health Canada weighs in on the vape debate, proposing the ban of any advertisement of the products where young people might see them. The Raptors lose 3 key players to injury as they get set to host Washington tonight, as we'll take a look around a busy evening in the NHL. Sports at 15. Investors are expected to take a closer look at earnings from Nike today. BlackBerry's preparing to release quarterly results as North American markets come off a winning session, with Wall Street set to begin trading at all-time highs.
680 News Time, 2:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carly Donahue.
Construction crews are busy this morning, but it's not really causing you delays, so that's a good sign if you're headed in or out of the GTA. Eastbound 401 at Huron, Ontario, all express lanes have been shut down. Now, this is just for some construction. Collectors moving fine through that stretch. We're not seeing any delays, so nothing to really worry about there. At the 400, the collector to express transfer remains blocked for some maintenance as well. At Yonge in the express, we do have a collision there taking over the left lane. It's once again not causing delays either. And then Morningside, the collector to express transfer is closed. On the westbound 401 at Dixon, 2 left lanes are blocked off. The ramps to Markham Road are shut down for a collision. At Brimley, the express to collector transfer is closed. Approaching McCallum, the transfer from collector to express is blocked off. Approaching Kennedy, and the collector's 2 left lanes are blocked for some construction. We have the express to collector transfer at the 404 closed off for some maintenance this morning. And then the Keel ramps are closed coming on to the highway. You have no access to the westbound 407 from Leslie or from the 404 right now. All of those ramps have been shut down. The northbound 400 at ESSA, 2 right lanes are blocked off, and the westbound ESSA ramp to the highway is closed as well. If you're on the westbound QEW west of the 427, a right lane is shut down. We have the southbound Evans Avenue ramp to the highway closed as well. Southbound Allen at Yorkdale Road, all lanes are closed off for some construction. There's no delays. Southbound 410 ramp to East 401. A left lane closed, and then eastbound QEW at Dixie and Copra, 2 right lanes are closed in both locations. The Dixie ramps to the highway are blocked, and there's no access to the northbound 427. Your next report at 2:11 with the forecast, Adam Stiles.
Areas in the west end of the GTA starting off the day with lake effect snow. There'll be some localized areas that see anywhere from 5 to 15 centimeters of snow, and we'll have to watch for those winds wiggle throughout the morning commute. So plan for slow going around the Golden Horseshoe from Stony Creek right into Oakville. Further toward the north and west, everybody's going to be into some sunshine. It'll be fairly cool to start with a high -4. The forecast winds out of the east today 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Today's high temperature -4.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy, -6, but feeling more like -13 with a wind chill. And at Pearson Airport, cloudy, -7, but feeling like -14. 680 News Time, 2:03.
If you have a flight scheduled out of Pearson Airport, you may want to get there earlier than planned. Today is expected to be the busiest travel day of the holiday season, with approximately 138,000 passengers traveling through the airport.
GTA Airports Authority spokesperson Tori Gass tells 680 News that December through January is always very busy.
Starting in December 15th, which is sort of when we start to see holiday travel start. So between December 15th and January 5th, we're expecting 2.85 million passengers to travel through Pearson Airport, which is quite a
the
few.
whole city.
Gas recommends
It's literally
bringing
the
their
population
presence to
of
the
the city.
airport unwrapped to speed things up through security.
Though it may have felt like it for quite some time now, today is officially the first day of winter. We've already seen multiple snow squall warnings and extreme cold weather alerts set across southern Ontario. Yesterday, tricky conditions north of the city resulted in several crashes on the 400, shutting down a portion of the highway for roughly 4 hours. As 680 meteorologist Adam Stiles explains, today's snow might not seem like much. The morning commute will still be a messy one.
And so don't focus on the snow totals as much. Think about the impact, the timing, what's going to happen. We'll see reduced visibility during the morning commute. We'll see road conditions deteriorating, and we're going to see that accumulating snow being around for most of the morning drive.
Areas between Hamilton and Oakville could get between 5 to 10 centimeters, possibly more, by late morning.
680 News Time, 2:05. Headway is being made on repairs to the North York high-rise that caught fire last month. At a holiday dinner for the nearly 700 displaced residents of 235 Gosford Boulevard, Mayor John Tory announced all door shipments would be completed today, a significant step in repairs to damaged units. Tory went on to say that most people would be able to move back home in just a few weeks. With Christmas just around the corner, Toronto Raptors shooting guard Norman Powell will be hosting a holiday event for displaced residents. Tomorrow, Powell will be visiting and delivering gifts to families, as well as signing autographs and taking photos. At this time, families are still being put up in local hotels and shelters until repairs are completed.
680 News Time at 2:05. Happening now in Vaughan, nearly 400 homes and businesses are without power. The outage began around 9 o'clock last night. The boundaries are from Dufferin east to Bathurst and Centre Street south to Steeles. They're hoping to restore power between 3 and 5 o'clock this morning.
This is 680 News at 2:06. Provincial police say they have found the dump truck that fled the scene after smashing its load into an overpass on the eastbound 401 Express at Highway 400. Sergeant Kerry Schmidt explains what happened.
Around 7:30 this evening, we got reports of a dump truck that was pulling a flatbed trailer that had an excavator loaded on top. The boom of that excavator struck the underside of the Highway 400 overpass on Highway 401 eastbound in the express lanes.
Schmidt says the driver will be facing charges. Cement debris littered the area after the crash, but no other vehicles were involved and no injuries were reported. Engineers are on scene to ensure the bridge hasn't been structurally damaged.
This is 680 News. Rising rates of vaping among Canadian high school students has Health Canada proposing to ban advertising where vaping products can be seen by kids.
The recommendations from Health Canada follow some new numbers showing from this time 2 years ago, the number of high school students using vaping products has doubled.
The new restrictions on e-cigarette advertising are strong, as they're going to have an important impact to reducing vaping in Canada.
Praising the overall mission for Health Canada, Rob Cunningham with the Canadian Cancer Society said still more needs to be done.
We have made such progress to reduce youth smoking, but now we're seeing a whole new generation of kids becoming addicted to nicotine through cigarettes.
So far, Health Canada is going as far as banning the advertisement of any vaping products in any location where someone under 18 could see or hear it, while also requiring any vaping packaging to feature health warnings and be child resistant. The agency is also looking in the future at limiting nicotine content in vaping products. I'm Stuart McGinn.
680 News Time, 2:07. A man has been taken to hospital with serious injuries after a stabbing in Scarborough. Toronto Police Constable David Hopkinson tells 680 News they received calls from the victim of the attack around 6:30 Thursday evening.
We received a call from a man saying that he'd been stabbed somewhere near Bonus Avenue and Birchmount Road. Now, I believe that we have had officers find him at that location, but I'm not sure that that's where the stabbing occurred.
Police have yet to determine the area of the stabbing itself, but say when they arrived on scene, they found the man unconscious and with serious bleeding. Anyone with information about this incident is being asked to contact police.
680 News Time at 2:08. Today is the last day of school for students before the winter break, but as kids gear up to relax over the next couple of weeks, Ontario teachers are continuing their battle with the province over contract negotiations. Starting today, Ontario Catholic teachers will be in a legal strike position while they don't have any job action plans just yet. Their union says it should be another wake-up call for the government. The Union for Secondary School Teachers has released some polling numbers that show less than 25% of Ontarians trust the government on education issues. They also claim that nearly 2/3 of Ontarians believe it's more important to invest in education than to cut the deficit or hand out tax breaks. Students will be headed back to class on January 6th. Coming up, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 2:09.
Me and this F-150, we are in it for the long haul.
Oh, yeah? What about costs like insurance, maintenance, fuel?
No problem. It just won an award for lowest cost to own in its class, 5th year in a row.
Wow, sounds like you really love your truck.
Yeah.
Get the Ford F-150